Hi, guys, it's me again, the broken record, here to talk about my favorite topic, which is Jesus. And really been thinking today about the true substance of my salvation. Who is He? Who am I because of Him? All those kinds of questions. What does it mean to be truly born again? And what does it mean to go back to your first love? What does it mean to pour out? There's a song that I've been listening to and repeat, pouring out my oil at your feet and pouring out my, if praise was like perfume, then I'd pour it out on you. And that depth of intimacy, gosh, I feel like He's calling us to know Him in such an intimate way, to know that we know who He is, not just His voice, like we're familiar with His voice, but even in today's world, your voice can be replicated by AI or by other things like, what does it mean, like knowing Him so well that we don't even know just the sound of His voice? It goes beyond that. We know what He's going to say next. We know how His heart beats. We know who His heart is beating for. We know what's on His heart for that day, what He wants us to pray about, what our next step is going to be in Him. All of these things are things that I long for, and I desire the body of Christ to long for that as well. And I just want to remind you that I love the sunlight, that's crazy, that in this time of great deception, and there's so many things to be anxious about, and there's so many things to be afraid of, and we can be really good Christians and take our thoughts captive and continue to speak out over ourselves that, Jesus is our peace and He is our victory and He's the one. And this is true. All of these things are true. But if you're completely honest, we have entered into a time in history where things are a little bit unnerving. And so let's, yes, take our thoughts captive, and yes, speak truth, and yes, believe that Jesus is our victory, and yes, all of these things. But beyond all of our own understanding, we need to know Him. Jesus says Himself in to the disciples in John 10:27, He says that His sheep are going to know His voice, and He knows His sheep. We have to know Him. That word in Greek is gnosko, something like that. I probably said it wrong, but it means to like the depth of knowing that's like such an intimacy, the kind of intimacy you'd have between a husband and a wife or a mother and a child, like a deep, deep, deep knowing. And when we know Him in that way, then we know what His heart beats for. We know not just the sound of His voice and that it's His voice and not an imposter's voice, but we know what His heart beats for, what His plan is for us in that day, what His plan is for your nation or your city or your family or your workplace. To know Him, to be at a place where we are willing to pour our oil out at His feet. That's the kind of place that I desire for all of us to be at, because when we're in that place, we won't be deceived. So I just want to encourage you to go and to stop whatever you're doing, to lay aside your own understanding, your own dogma, and just go after Jesus, because when we draw near to Him, He draws near to us. And this is eternity, knowing Him. So I encourage you to chase after Him today.